Good evening, everybody. Good to see everyone here tonight. Hope you all are doing well. That pencil shouldn't be here. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. Let me know if I sound different or anything, if I sound too quiet, too loud. OBS has had an update, so please let me know if you need me to change anything. But hope everyone is doing well tonight. We're going to be doing some weathering, which should be fun. Just making sure I have my reference images pulled up here. That way I can show you guys them as well. Good to hear, Banu. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, because I got my reference images pulled up on my phone here. That way I have easy access to them. But I want to make sure you folks all can see them as well. So how's everyone doing tonight? Hopefully well. Let's see. Go to my weathering references folder. Let's see, who's here tonight while I'm pulling this up? Garrett, good to see you, Garrett. Dennis, good to see you. Adam, Kyle, Scott, Banu, Mr. Says, and Seth. Good to see you guys. Glad to have you folks here. Like I said at the top of the stream, we are going to be working tonight on weathering. We're going to be starting by finishing up this BN Reefer here. So we're gonna touch up a couple things and then hit it with some powders, and that'll be done. And then we're gonna jump to these two cars here. Excuse me. B&M 50-foot boxcar and a Penn Central 52-foot gondola. Both should be pretty fun to weather, and these cars are for my good friend Corey at Ars Trains here on YouTube. Excuse me. That should be sound is on the quiet side. Oh, I know how I can fix that. We'll bump it to there. Hopefully that's a little better, Dennis. Just bumped it a few decibels. Where did there? Okay, and there we go. All right. So before we start weathering tonight, though, I don't quite have a mail call so much as I have a show and tell. So we're gonna get these cars out of the way here for a moment. Because I haven't gotten things in the mail. But I have gotten some things. First thing, is Garrett has his Finger Lakes 202R back, and he seemed to be very happy with it. And in payment for that, he gave me these guys. These are a pair of Kato RDCs. Let me pull up the camera controls so I can zoom for you. Where did it go? Properties. There it is. Good to hear, Kyle. Thank you. Configure video. Camera control. Zoom. Good evening, Thomas. Welcome in. And Iron Horse, good evening. All is well, so thought it'd be a Weathering Wednesday. Nah, Wednesdays I'm busy and there's a bunch of other folks streaming, so. But yeah, so I have these now. Pair of RDCs. We got RDC 1 and RDC 2. They're currently in Chicago Northwestern colors, but sorry to any C&W fans out there, they will not be staying that way. These are going to become New Haven units, and the RDC 1 is going to become New Haven number 40, which will be one of 2 units, the number 40 and 41, both got American Cancer Association decals on the nose. So that will be a fun project to get some decals made for those and get those on there. And then I haven't decided what number the RDC2 is going to be, but the New Haven had a number of RDC2s. The M4 decoder is good for those. Okay, that's good. Thomas, I go back and forth. Sometimes I call them RDCs, sometimes I call them Bud cars. It kind of just depends on what my brain jumps to first. I really do go back and forth on Bud cars versus RDCs. But I have, now that I have these, I will be able to start having some fun. I have the Rapido RDC1, Rapido RDC1. That's already in the New Haven scheme. That's New Haven 32. And then I also have a Kato RDC4 in the New Haven scheme, which is, I think, number 121. And that Bud car is done. I put the Digitrax decoder in it, and it doesn't work. That Digitrax decoder is worthless. It's a piece of junk. Highly recommend to anyone out there, do not use the Digitrax decoder for Kato RDCs. They just, they don't work. They just don't work well at all. So, that will be I'm going to have to swap that out. And I'm going to have to get decoders in these guys. RDC4 it's a shorter RDC. It's half baggage, half RPO, Thomas. So it's actually very interesting because the RDC1, so the RDC1 is all passenger. RDC2 is passenger with a baggage compartment. RDC3 is passenger with a RPO compartment. And then the RDC4 is no seating, no passenger seating, half RPO, half, excuse me, half RPO, half baggage. Any chance of recreating RDC 41 like the one in preservation? So I don't plan on at some point I want to do RDC 41, New Haven 41, but I don't want to do it in its preservation scheme. I want to do it in the scheme that has the it's the script letter scheme. And it has the American Cancer Association sword on the nose. And I think that will be fun. I do have my Rapido RDC. I numbered to New Haven 32, which is the unit that runs at the Danbury Railway Museum. And that's the reason why. Uh-oh. Dennis.exe has stopped. Why? What happened? Uh-oh. What did I do? What happened? What broke? So, what? You're scaring me, Garrett. What happened? What did it? Huh? I don't know what's going on. Hold on, let me pull up my stream on my phone. You think I'm fine? Everything's okay. Gosh, you're scaring me, Garrett. Gosh. Oh man. What was it? Oh yeah. So I was saying, thank you guys all for the reassurances that everything is okay. Okay. I was saying, what was I saying? Does New Haven own the largest fleets of RDCs? I'm not actually sure. They did have a very large fleet. Now I gotta look that up. Largest RDC fleet. You pulled an early April Fool's joke. Yeah, that would do it. Okay, it looks like the Boston and Maine might have had more. Yeah, the B&M had more. The B&M had 110. The New Haven had 40. I don't think that's quite. I think New Haven had more than 40. New Haven definitely have more than 40. Hold on. Let's see here now. Okay, Boston and Maine. Let's pull up my calculator. Let's do the math here. 57 RDC1s plus 15 RDC2s plus 7 RDC3s plus 30 RDC9s is 109, and they must have had like one more because I got 110. So 109, 110 units for the B&M. New Haven. Oh no, the New Haven did have 40. Their numbering scheme just confuses me because they start at 20. Yeah, they had 29 RDC1s, number 20 to number 48. They had 2 RDC2s, number 120, 121. They had 6 RDC3s, 125 to 130, and they had 3 RDC4s, 135 to 137. So the RDC2 or RDC4 that I have must be numbered wrong. So I'll have to investigate that. But anyways, so that's what those are. That's the story about the RDCs. I love the Bud cars. Having grown up going to the Danbury Railway Museum, I rode Bud cars all the time, so I very much love Bud cars. So that's that. Garrett has the 202R, and in return I got the Bud cars. The other thing that I got recently is I got this car back. This is the BNCCS number 25117, Derailing Diabetes. Diabetes Awareness 5244. It spent some time out in the West Coast, or not quite the West Coast, but out west, doing a little tour, and I have it back now. So I gotta put the finish painting and reinstalling all of the grab irons and handrails and all sorts of things that I reinstall on here now that I have it back. But in addition to this car, I'm gonna have to do a photo shoot because in addition to this car, I also got back, or not quite back, I got, for photography purposes, an Arvada Western and Denver Terminal Railway boxcar from the guys out west who had the BNCCS car. Highly recommend you check out both of those railroads on Facebook, by the way. Fantastic photography. Those guys do an incredible job, and I'm super. I think it's super awesome that I have the ability to take these and photograph them on. I'm gonna go to bring them at my club, and take some pictures there. And oops, I'm trying to zoom out. There we go. Have some fun photographing them. Maybe I'll have to photograph them next to my BNCCS Jeep 9R. That's on the back burner for now, but super cool to have these here to take pictures of, and then they will be making their way back west once they're done with me, or once I'm done with them rather. I might see if I can get to a layout or two with them while I have them, but I doubt it, unfortunately. So that's it for show and tell. Trains, planes, and automobiles. Welcome. Good evening. Good to have you. Dennis has 6 in N scale and 6 P2K HO scale ones. Nice. Okay. So, I think that's all of my show and tell, right? Yes. Okay, good. I'm going to put the 25117 up top here. That way it's out of the way. And let's get into the weathering. So we're going to start with the BN Reefer here. Can you imagine riding an RDC from Salt Lake City to Oakland on the WP? Man, that would have been a heck of a trip. Oh, I do have one more thing for show and tell. I almost forgot. We're gonna zoom in. I have my next project. And don't worry, I have the other truck. I just took it off because there was something up with the couplers. But I have a Microtrains troop sleeper here, which will not be a troop sleeper when I'm done with it. So this is going to become a New Haven Railway Express Agency express boxcar. The New Haven had several converted troop sleepers that were used as REA express boxcars after the war. So I have this one here that I picked up off of eBay, and I'm going to kit bash it into one of the REA express boxcars, and then I'm going to use it and use its measurements and all of that to scratch build one of my own when I'm done with it. And I'm going to use this one kind of as a guide for scratch building my own. So that should be really fun, and that's a project that will probably happen at least somewhat on camera. So, but I want to finish some of these weathering jobs before I get into that really deeply. So that's the only other show and tell thing. So, okay, back to this guy. So, the goal with this car was to sort of match my HO scale 57-foot reefer here. We're not quite, it's not going to be quite the same, but it's going to be close. And there's a couple things I want to do. The first thing I want to do is I want to kind of pull some of this paint down, make this a little more streakier for these paint chips on this side. Just because they're a little too clean for me right now. So I'm going to try and do that real quick. I'm going to see if I can reactivate some of them with some thinner here. You need to find some of them to make an MOW train for yourself. Yeah, nice. Yeah, they were used for all sorts of things after the war. And they're just like neat cars too, so they're very, very nice. Kind of clean up some of this as well, or at least attempt to. All right, it's okay. All right, so that will do for now. I can cover some up with some powder as well. Okay, so powders. So I'm going to get some grime and some dirt and some of this as well. Where did I put it? It's right there, yeah. A little bit left in there. We'll add a little bit more into that. So, all right, I'm just using my Bragdon powders. I've got some soot and some Old Tuscan here. I'm gonna kind of mix those into some grimy powder. Good news, Suburban Propane has been switched and you've finally made it. Welcome in, Paul. I have more good news for you because I still have the Mets game pulled up on my other monitor, and the Mets are now up 3-1, top of the 6th. Just mixing up some kind of grimy powder pastel here. All right, now let's cap these powders up before they get everywhere. And you can't even see them because they're too far forward for the camera, because of course they are. Life is good. Excellent. Where do I get those kind of powders? So, I actually don't remember where I got these. I think I might have gotten these on either the train show or on eBay. You can buy them directly from the guy. If you look up Bragdon Enterprises, you can find them on his website. But there's a few different companies that sell them. Let's get a little bit of grime going. Down here and here. Perfect, perfect. Hey, welcome in, Ted. Good to see you, my friend. Kind of give a light dusting of grime everywhere, but especially down along the bottom here. And especially on this side, because this side came out a little lighter than I anticipated it. Or intended it to, rather. I'm actually going to use this brush. It's a little bit more controlled. So I don't actually think Paul asked this tonight, so this is a kind of goes for everyone. What's on everyone's workbench recently? What's everyone been working on? Stepped out for a minute, but what time for? So this is a more modern. This is like probably early to mid 2000s on this car, and that's to match the HO car that I have. There's the HO car. This car I got as part of the Walthers National Model Railroad build-off back in, I think it was 2023, maybe 2024. But they did the weathering challenge that year. And this car actually took second place, which was really awesome. Made me very happy. But so I'm weathering this. They're not exactly the same. This is a 57-foot, this is a true nice 57-foot reefer. This is a generic train man, Atlas train man, 50-foot reefer, kind of just Fubi thing. But I want them to roughly match because I'm sending both of these down to, actually, the reason I'm focusing first on finishing this tonight is because tomorrow, hopefully, I will get these boxed up and sent out to Ray, and they will be going down to, excuse me, down to the Sydney RPM, down in Australia next month. So the HO cars I'll be working on next, those are going to be like 70s era, and I have some nice reference photos for those. Let's see, what's everyone working on? Paul didn't ask his signature question. It's okay, you were excited, Paul. Let's see. Ted's, of course, working on some weathering. Banu is working on his surprise 080, trying to clean it up for Amsterdam. Man, I wish I could make it up for the Amsterdam show. I might actually have to I might have to ask you and Brandon to pick something up for me from a friend up that way and pay you back for it. I gotta get in touch with you guys and get in touch with the guy. But there's some stuff that someone was hoping to get at least some of to me at the Amsterdam show, but I'm unfortunately not gonna be able to make it. I just don't. I don't think. I have something else going on that morning, so unfortunately, of course, it's south and east of me, whereas Amsterdam is north and west of me. So if I make it up, it would be for like maybe an hour at the end of the show. So it's just not. I don't think it's really gonna work out, unfortunately. Next year I'll make it back up there. Let's see. Scott's still working on the sand loading facility. Latest picture in Paul's Discord. That sand loading facility is coming out really nice, Scott. Really good work on that. Dan is working on scratch building coil cards, one with styrene and one with 3D printing. Awesome. Very nice, Dan. Let's see. Says working on 3-notch. Bowser Manufacturing, Vino, and Sunbelt ballast cars. Ooh, nice ballast cars. Kyle's working on track laying and wiring. Awesome. Scott says, Chris says they will be accompanying your Illinois Midland covered hopper. Yes, they will. Down to Sydney, Australia. Finally getting to work on the layout again. Awesome, Scott. Good to hear. All right, I think that's good for grime. I'm gonna have to wet the truck still, but I might do that off stream. Now I just need to take my soot black powder. I'm going to darken in these vents. There's a vent right there. Go. Okay. I'm going to clean up this top vent a little bit. There we go. Illinois Midland went to Australia. Well, it will have after the RPM. Do these cars have the exhaust on the roof? They don't appear to. There's certainly not the N scale car, because this, like I said, this N scale car is really just a foobie. The HO scale car doesn't appear to. I don't. It may be that it's missing, but oh wait, nope, I do see it. Never mind. Spotted. I never actually noticed that. I somehow missed that, so that will have to be touched up. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, Thomas. Clay Holmes on the stakes. You'd love to see it. Yeah, actually getting some depth out of the Mets pitching lineup. Crazy. Who would have thunk it? That's actually, Thomas, that's a detail I might have to vet. Not right now. Not in time for the Sydney RPM, I don't think. Because Ray wants these cars basically ASAP. That way he can get himself packed up and ready to go, because he's leaving. It's not too much longer until he's leaving to head south. But that's something I might want to add onto the and skill car eventually. Good evening, Sean. Good to see you, my friend. Good to have you in. I think that makes those cars. I think that makes this car done, actually. Sweet. So I'll have to seal that car before I send it off to Ray, but that makes that car done. And then I am really quickly just gonna add a little bit of soot around this HO car's exhaust. I'll do more of that later, but in any case, those cars now are complete. A pair of weathered BN Fruit Express Reefers in N and HO scale. I'm going to touch up the trucks and the couplers and stuff off camera. But those are done. I can move those out of the way and get them off the workbench. Huzzah. And jinxed it. Uh-oh. Ah, well. I mean, still, into the 6th is... It's a heck of a lot better than anything we really got last season, so I'll take it, Paul. Okay, so. Oh, all right. Sean, by the way, I don't know if they've arrived yet. I'd have to pull up the tracking information and find that for you, but your locomotives should be on their way. And yeah, if they haven't gotten there by today, they might be there by tomorrow, and hopefully by Wednesday. Clay Holmes' day is done after letting off a solo shot, 5 2/3. Hey. You know, not the worst way to have someone come out for the day is on a solo shot. It could definitely have been worse. You know, could have been a grand slam. All right, so let me quickly give me 1 second here. I had a quick I forgot to set up this source. Display capture. Okay. That one. Okay. And then bring it down. Oops. That one. Okay. Bring it down. Come on. What? Why is it not showing up? Okay. And then it goes away. Why does it go away? Okay, there it is. Hello. So the first thing we're going to be working on... Actually, it's not this car. Let me... Ted, this will make you happy. First car we're going to be working on tonight is this puppy. There we go. We'll be working on this HO scale Penn Central 576108 rib-sided gondola. So, first thing we're going to do is we are going to fade everything. Because the reason we're starting with this is because the B&M boxcar, which is the other thing we're going to be hopefully working on tonight, is already a decent way along. I've already faded that paint. Let me zoom the camera out a little bit now that we're working on HO scale. Configure. There it is. Zoom. We're bring it down to like that. That looks good. Is this exact real? I don't think it is. I don't actually know. It appears not to have any brand on the undercarriage or anything. So I don't actually know. And of course I did not get this with its box. I got this in a box with several other pieces of rolling stock for to weather for my good friend Corey at Ars Trains here on YouTube. So I don't actually know how to tell if it's an exact real, but in any case, it is a nice looking car. Yep, I know you did, Ted. I remember seeing that on your live stream. That was, it was not too long ago, but it also wasn't all that recent. Just clearing off the dust from the car before we get started here. Clean all the dust off, make sure there's no dust on here to interfere. Okay, so speaking of Ted weathering these, we will be using Ted's weathering techniques because it's, I think, my new favorite way to fade paint. I gotta clean this palette in the worst way. But I can't do that now. I think a month and a half ago. Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. All right. So, for anyone who doesn't know about the technique that I've picked up from Ted, basically it works based on the color wheel. You have to dilute the existing color. Oh shoot. There you go. Now you can see this. Let me actually... Forgot. Let me actually do it like this. Window capture. That was the one I wanted to do. Now you'll be able to see it without me blocking it. There you go. So, yes, what I learned from Ted. I'm using oil paints, and I'm basically going to use the complementary color to the existing paint color. So for green, that's going to be red. So let me get a little bit of red on here. This palette here, let me just wipe up a spot quickly. Let's get some red on the palette there. And then I'm also going to use some white. So let's get some white on here. Let me actually grab my color wheel real quick and make sure there's no other color that I should be blending in here. There it is. Let's see, it's I think that should do. I think that should do the trick. So, I'm going to grab a couple of my little Q-tips. What do I use for weathering? So right now, I used a whole bunch of things. Right now, I'm using oil paints. Excuse me, goodness. But yeah, so I use oil paints, I use acrylic paints, and I use weathering powders, and that's the combination of things that I use. And I also use some gouache as well, which is another type of paint. All right, let's get to this. So I'm gonna start putting some dots of red. Give this card some chicken pox real quick. Sounds good, Dennis. Have a good rest of your night. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you can get up in time. Good to see you, my friend. Have a good one. That's probably about good. And let's put a couple up there. And now we're going to take some white. What is the opposite of green? The opposite of green would be red. So let me grab the color wheel here. So on your color wheel, here's green. If I come straight across the green, there's your red. Highly, highly recommend getting a color wheel for anyone who does weathering. This one's nice. It's got a nice. So if I come right here, it's green and its complement is red. They're very useful tools. Thomas, right now I'm using oils. I use oils for the fading, and then I use acrylics for some rust and stuff after the fade. So make some white dots in here as well. Plaid. Sounds good, Chris. Have a good rest of your night. Seth, no worries. Welcome in. Good to have you. So these are, I'm using Winsor & Newton. Oh, well, I'm using a combination of Winsor & Newton and then Master's Touch, which is like I think the Hobby Lobby brand of paints. Yeah, no worries. I just get, whatever I can find. Oil paints don't, I mean, they do to an extent, but not nearly as much as acrylics do they have the same kind of problem of, having less pigment. Obviously some cheaper paints are going to have less pigment, but they don't suffer nearly as much as the acrylics do from the cheaper side of paints having less pigment. At least in my experience. That may be wrong, may be completely wrong, but yeah, that's what I've experienced. What do I use to clean my brushes? If I am doing oil paints, I just use where is it? I use just odorless paint thinner or mineral spirits, basically, and that does the trick. If I'm using acrylics, I'll use either water or isopropyl alcohol. Right. And now we get ugly. So this is not going to look very good at first. Actually, let me get a different brush. Use this brush. There we go. Yeah, you're already ugly. Oh, jeez. So I'm just going to keep working this all in and kind of really blending it together. I really try and work it into all of the corners here. That way it's a nice even fade across the entire car. I'm not going in any consistent direction or anything like that. It's not like, rust streaking or grime or anything like that where I want to kick it up or down. I'm just trying to get it as a nice even layer across the entire car. Definitely a trust the process situation, 100%. So what I've found works well is kind of when I get to this point, this brush is pretty saturated. So it's not going to start picking up a lot of this excess pigment in quite the way I want it to, or with quite the efficiency that I want. So once I kind of get it to this point where it's pretty much completely blended and I just want to start to pull some of this excess pigment off, I will switch to a much harder bristle brush. And not only does that help really work it into corners and stuff, but it really kind of scrapes off a lot of that extra pigment and brings the green back through in this case. And when I'm doing this, I'm using pretty cheap brushes. I'm not using my nice fine point brushes or anything like that. Because this is a process that eats up brushes. And that's kind of by design. Really just working it in, making sure to clean up any particularly red spots. Getting it worked into all the crevices and corners and everything. There we go. So, for comparison, there's your starting point. And that's what we've achieved in, what was that? I don't know, all of 10 minutes. Actually, I think I want this a little lighter, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in with some more white. Whoops. I'm going to go back in and just add some more white spots, and then repeat the process. There we go. All right, now let's blend it in a bit better. Yeah, there we go. That's more what I wanted. One of the nice things about working with the oil paints is that it's, it's still very easy to kind of blend in another layer of color without having to wait for, you have a lot of working time, basically, is what I'm trying to say. The vertical ribs on the cars are the hardest to work with, really, to get in there with the brushes and the sponge. Yeah. Absolutely. Vertical, well, what's so hard about the vertical bars is, there's such small surface area, and there's not a lot of grab on them. You don't have a lot of hold. So it's easy to just kind of clean them off while you're trying to work it in. much happier with that. Thank you, Andrew Coslet. Appreciate that. Ooh, Thomas is getting Legos? Back to work. Sounds good, Kyle. Thanks for tuning in. Good to hear from you, my friend. It's good to see the progress on your layout too, by the way. You're posting on your YouTube channel on your community tabs. So keep sharing there. It's good to see the progress. Have a good rest of your day at work, man. For anyone interested in learning more about this technique, by the way, folks, I highly recommend you check out Ted's live streams. He streams Saturday nights. And does a great job of showing off this technique and others, many of which I've picked up from him. So, you know, highly recommend tuning in if you're interested in learning more about weathering and seeing some good work. Scott, sounds good. Thanks for tuning in yourself. It's always good to hear from you and see you in the chat. Hope you have a great rest of your night, my friend. And no problem, Kyle. It's my pleasure. It's always good to see people's progress, and I look forward to seeing more. Yeah, this is looking good. This is looking good. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for that. I was just about to ask if someone could link Ted's channel. But that right there is Ted's channel. Highly recommend, again, checking it out. High quality weathering right there. Go, good. That's looking very nice. For reference here for you folks, there's the color we started with, and there's the color we got. Here's a good. side by side. So, very, very nice technique that works quite well to dull down colors and really realistically fade them. All right, let's go to, and we'll do the car end. Why not? Hopefully shouldn't take too much longer. Right, and my white Q-tip. There we go. Right. Now let's blend it all in. All right, and then our cleanup brush. Stretch my back a little bit. There we go. Did a whole lot of driving this weekend, so my back's a little bit tight. Went from here in Dutchess County up to Troy, New York. Stopped by my old stomping grounds of RPI. Picked up a friend there, one of the members of the RPI Model Railroad Club, the Rensselaer Model Railroad Society. Then we headed west from there. Made our way out to Syracuse, New York. Spent the day in Syracuse with Mr. Paul Stamp and members of the RIT Model Railroad Club at Drew James's beautiful Canada Spokane and Pacific layout. Had a great day there. Really enjoyed ourselves running the CS&P. And then once we were done there, back to Troy. Drop my friend off. Back down to Dutchess County. Sunday morning, get up, go to church. Come back home after church. Grab my backpack and drive down to Stamford to visit my girlfriend. And spent the night there, and then this morning, this afternoon after I got up, my girlfriend went to work. I unfortunately did not have work today. But that's all right. Comes and goes. Get up. I went to meet her for lunch. After I met her for lunch, drive back here. So all told, I think it was something like 10 or 12 hours of driving this weekend. So it was it was a busy weekend. And my back is feeling it. And actually, more than my back, my hand, my palm was feeling it from holding the steering wheel for so long. I was getting some cramps in my, lower palm a little bit to, as I was going through the day today. But that's subsiding now, which is good. But yeah, a lot of driving, but worthwhile. Very fun weekend, to be sure. Yeah, of course, Ted. If not for you, I wouldn't know this technique. And, you're my pal, and I want to, it's part of, a big part of why I do this YouTube thing. Yeah, I want to share my love for the hobby, but I also want to, promote my friends. That's why, so many layout tour videos and op session videos I put up, because, people that I go and see their layout, and they have basically zero online presence, and I wanted to, put those layouts out there for people to see, because they're works of art. And same goes for your weathering, Ted. All right, to the white one. Oh. Cubs won 7-2. Good for them. Mets seem to be holding on to their lead so far, but now that I've said that, I'm sure I'll have jinxed it. So let me knock on some wood real quick. There we go. Knocked on some wood. That should save us. Ah. You'll care when you see him twice in 43 days. Yeah, there you go. You'll definitely care then. There it is, 3. Yeah, there you go. Oh, I see. Yeah, Paul, I thought you were announcing that you were going to be visiting Wrigley this year. I can remember what ballparks you said you were visiting. When Meta loses to the Cubs, hey, that works for me. Meta can lose anytime it wants. That works for me. As long as the Mets don't lose, I'm good. Wrigley is happening? Oh, okay. Just not in 43 days. All right, let's blend. Gets you every time, doesn't it, Ted? Now, Ted, I'm curious because I don't. Oh, okay, never mind. I was gonna ask you a question, but I'll just reference your stream. No worries. Have a good rest of your night, my friend. Good to see you always. Thanks for tuning in. Seeing the Cubs twice in 3 days. That's what that was supposed to say. Gotcha. I see. The away team in Milwaukee Saturday, and then in Wrigley Sunday. Ah, nice. What time is it? Oh, it's only 10:15. Wow. Okay. Yeah, we're definitely going to be able to get to this BN box car then. That's good. Nope, not this one. Where did that brush go? There it is. Let me take a second here to clean these brushes off because they're getting pretty well saturated. There's that one. Clean this brush off. And this brush. Mets win! Let's go! Excellent news. Put it in the books. Oh, there it is. Final score 4-2. Clay Holmes gets the win. Devin Williams with the save. Nice. Very nice. Good, good, good. Let's go, Mets. What an excellent evening. That brush still has mineral spirits on it. Oh no. Sublime. Indeed. How's the weather up there, by the way, Paul? I know down here it was a beautiful day. A little bit windy, but otherwise, gorgeous day. Temperature-wise, it was fantastic. It was in the upper 60s. Finally starting to feel like spring. Great day, got a nice walk in. Sounds like tomorrow won't be so nice. Yeah, I was looking at it. Looks like tomorrow's gonna be, at least down here, tomorrow's gonna be about the same temperature, but significantly more wet. You guys up there, I think, are under severe weather warning, so yeah, stay safe. I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna blend this a little bit better over here. Down here, it's just supposed to be drizzly, but up there, you guys are getting the brunt of the storms. Okay, let's do this last end. And then I might need to pull up Ted's stream to see how he did the interiors of the car. If he faded that, or if he just faded up bad enough that he didn't need to worry about it. When I touch base with Corey again, which again, Corey is the guy who these cars are going to, and I've got several other cars for him. I'm going to be working on. I think it's 6 in total, 5 or 6 in total. I don't recall which number, whether it was 5 or 6, but it was one of those numbers. But when I touch base with him, I got to see if he's interested in this N scale RS3 and wide vision caboose that I've got as well, since he's a big D&H guy. There we go. I think he was trying to keep his small N scale collection to mostly like Midwestern stuff. He's got the Kato CNW 400s train set and Norfolk Southern SD or GP40, I think, and some freight cars. But I don't know. I will have to ask. Because if not, then Brandon and Bonu may not be so happy with me. Okay, so let's bring the camera back down here. Now I'm going to quickly pull up Ted's stream because I actually want to see what he did for the interiors of the gondolas that he worked on. YouTube. Shift D. Okay, live. Let's go back in time to see those gondolas. There it is. Okay, yeah, so looking at these cars, this is definitely not an exact rail gondola. This, I think, might be either an AccuRail or some other car. It's definitely not an exact rail. I'm looking at these cars that he's got that Ted has in his streams, and they are definitely nicer than this one. Okay. Try and skip through. Okay, so now it looks like he just went for a wash on the inside. So I just got to hit the top of the car here. At the rim. Good. All right, let's blend it in. Just use my thumb to blend that rather than the brush. That works. I gotta pull a little bit more off of this end of the car for sure, now that I'm looking at it again. This end of the car definitely has too much, and I'm working off camera. This end of the car definitely has too much pigment on here. Gonna go ahead and pull a lot of that off. That looks much better. Beautiful. Okay. So we'll leave that there then. Leave some of the oils to cure a bit. So let's switch our reference photo here. To this one, I think will suffice. I've got two photos for the B&M car. I've got this one, and I've got this one, and they're both pretty good reference photos. This one shows a little heavier weathering, a little heavier rusting, really more than anything. Ugh. 10:30. What can I do here? Looking at both of these, this card definitely needs more fading. So I think what we're going to do, instead of trying to move forward, I'm going to actually clean this off a little bit. Clean some of this powder off. And I'm going to fade it, and I'm going to do much, much, much more white in the mix. Because it's a much paler blue in my reference photo here. So now I'm gonna have to clean these brushes off again. Here we go, get that nice and clean. And then I'm gonna have to figure out, I'm gonna need some orange. So I'll have to grab, there's the orange. Okay, I've already got it out, good. I'm gonna need a lot more white. Clean, clean, clean. This one needs to be cleaned. Okay. So, orange. Let's get some orange on my palette. There we go. And let's get some more white on my palette. So I'm definitely going to need more white than I have. There we go. You hear thunder, oh boy. Yeah, how's the weather been out your way, Sean? I know you're getting into tornado season out that direction, so stay safe, my friends. Looks like it's getting ready to downpour. Oh boy. Ooh, pardon me. Almost hail season out there, but a late winter blast, possibly possibly this week. Oh boy. Freaky's 80s, the 90s you've had last week back down to the 2030s. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Mother Nature can't make up her mind there. Oh jeez. So Sean, I assume you've gotten your locomotives at this point. It looks like I just pulled up the tracking information. It looks like they've arrived, so hopefully you're enjoying those. Had a lot of fun working on those. Had fun getting the seeds and seedlings started in the greenhouse today. Very nice, Adam. Need to run out to the mailbox? Oh boy. Trying to clean out the crud from around these ladders a little bit before we really dig in to the fading. Okay, all right. Let's grab another Q-tip. All right. Let's start fading this bad boy. Nothing yet. My shipping information here says it's been delivered. So we may have to look into that. I hope I shipped it to the right address. No, I did UPS. I did UPS, Sean. No skill in 9. Hey, you're wrong about that. We started off the stream, Paul. We started off the stream finishing this bad boy up. That way we can get everything sent out to Ray. They like to say it's delivered here and it shows up 2 days later. Lazy man. Oof. Get a lot of white on this car because I want it to be a nice pale blue. All right, we'll start with that. We'll see how that goes. Look at it tomorrow. That's why I asked USPS stuff. Always end up one block over. Never had any issues with UPS. Yeah, it says it was delivered. It actually says it was delivered on Saturday, Sean. So I wonder if it just got misplaced somewhere. I don't know. Add a little more white. That one, this brush. Two more hours. Hopefully the construction crew stole back the poser supply you borrowed. Let me grab this right here. Power supply. That makes a lot more sense. Sounds good, Seth. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one, my friend. It's starting to get there. I think it needs another layer of white. Well, let's try just doing a little bit of this. Now we're starting to get there. Yeah, that's starting to really get there now. You'll bring your own the next 3 days. Or at least got through most of your day, since they only work 9 to 3. And Sean, yeah, I'll send you that shipping address when I wrap up here, which will be before too long here. I just want to finish up this side of this car. I think I actually did send it to. No, I might have sent it to the YouTube at Klondike.com email, but I'll forward it to you on Facebook. I'll shoot you a message there with the tracking information. Alright, that's, I think, going to do it for that side of that car. Just kind of blend it all together a little better. think that looks pretty good. Pretty good. All right, so there is tonight's lineup. Pretty successful night, I would say. Had a lot of fun. Hope you all did as well. I'm gonna let these set up and keep working on them over the next week. And next week we'll be back with more weathering. Maybe showing some progress on that on this troop carrier, troop sleeper. We'll see. But in any case, the rain just arrived. Got the dogs in just in the nick of time. Well, that's good, Paul. Good to hear that. I hope you all have a great rest of your evening, folks. I'm going to wrap things here. That way I can get ready for bed here. But thanks for tuning in. I hope you all enjoyed. And I will see you folks all on the next track. Have a good one.